Hi, how are you? Welcome to Module 3. And I'm super, super excited for you because I know that you've gone through the steps of the Module 1, getting that A team in place. It is so, so important. Then being able to show you how to get some leads, drum up some business, do the drive-bys, talk to everybody that you know, driving the neighborhood, whatever it's going to take to get a lead for you. If you're looking at building your own website, which is great, you can go to GoDaddy. In regards to pay-per-click, just as a recap, or SEO, which is search engine optimization. I actually remembered what it was this time. So whatever your form is to be able to get leads, go and get them. Without leads, you're not going to make any money. That's the bottom line. So let's dive right in. So just a few things. I'm going to be looking at a page just so that I can cover a few things. I just want you to know down at the bottom here in the resource section, there's going to be all of the verbiage that I'm putting in there. There's going to be even more content than what I'm talking about, where again, sitting here and talking to a video screen is a little bit different than talking to you one-on-one, right? If we were standing face to face. So I just want to make sure that you get everything that it is that I can pour into this course, so that there's some things that are written down that aren't covered in this. So I just want to let you know that. So what we're looking at doing in Module 3 is writing those offers. We want win, win, win. Win for the buyer, win for the seller, and win for yourself. That way that you're going to get paid. Some of the things we want to do is make sure that there is a due diligence clause. All that means is that you're going to take the time to do your research. You're going to look into the zonings. You're going to look into what can be built on the property, what can be added to the property. Can you do an additional dwelling unit? Is there a basement that you can turn into a mother-in-law suite? Are you able to tear down that property and maybe build 2 duplexes? So again, going to the city, getting that offer put in with these people so that you can do that. One word of advice is I wouldn't share my results with the seller, where that could really hurt you in the sense of being able to maybe further do negotiation on what that price is that they want. You're looking at also work orders are very important. So you want to call the city, make sure that there's no work orders on the property. Work orders can be substantial amount of money. You're not expecting it. They may want the place to be condemned, whatever that looks like. So just keep that in mind, is calling the city, being open to the idea. Because here's an example. When you go buy a car, you go bring it for a safety check. Well, it's the same thing with a house. So you want to find out what, maybe your car, you want to find out how many miles you can get per the gallon. You might want to know when's the last time the brakes were done, when's the last oil change. Same thing with a property. You just want to find out all the information that you can. I call it the dirt, right? You want to find out all the dirt on these properties that you're going to buy before you actually make a solid commitment and remove conditions to be able to pass that on to your buyer. Okay. Allow 4 walkthroughs with contractors. You want to be able to inform that seller that you're working with contractors, and basically you want them to be able to see this property, or you want them to be able to see multiple pictures of that property, whatever that is that the contractor desires, that the seller is going to cooperate with you getting people to come into that property to look at it. It also could entail contractors or your joint venture partners want to see the property. So I would suggest at least 4 times that they allow you to do that. You want to make sure that there is an assignment clause. All that an assignment clause is, and your lawyer will help you with this, all an assignment clause is that you want to be able to assign it to that end buyer, that joint venture money partner, that joint venture buyer, whatever that means. As far as how you're going to structure the exit strategy and who wants to come to you, you want to make sure that you can assign that contract. You can even choose to buy it yourself. It's just an option. We're just leaving our options open is what we're doing. You want to make sure that an appraiser can go through, an inspector can go through. The other thing is the realtor and the lawyer are going to help you draft up this offer. Okay. Tell your seller that you work with other investors so that you're being transparent. You want to just tell them, look, I deal with, I'm dealing with other investors. They want all the information on the property. What else can we, just basically telling them who you're in business with, that this is what we do. We buy properties. This is our business model. We buy properties. We fix them up to their best potential. We choose to either rent them out or we choose to sell them. And asking a seller, are you okay if we make money on our business model? We buy homes at deep discounted prices so that we can do this. And this is how we make our money. Is that okay with you? And you'd be surprised, they're going to say yes. At the end of the day, is as long as they're making money, they're not going to care that you're making money. I just like to be upfront. I like to tell people, this is what I'm going to do. That way they can't come back at me and say, you picked up my property for 800,000. It was worth 1.6 million. You sold it for $1 million. I was honest. So those are some of the things that I like to do when I'm telling my sellers, this is what we do. Is that okay with you? Getting their permission, telling them we buy properties at deep discounts. So we're preparing them. And we're getting permission. Another thing is asking your lawyer to draft you a letter of intent. And all a letter of intent is saying, yes, Mr. Seller, Mrs. Seller, I am interested in buying your property. And what it does is that it buys time for you to be able to, number one, negotiate a price with them. They're going to sign it. It's non-binding. Your lawyer will tell you that. And then what you do is that you're able to take that letter of intent once it's signed. It gives them the mentality that they've got some type of agreement with you so that you can take it into the next step. So then you can start your due diligence. You can call your real estate agent. You can start getting comparables, which is very important. So again, just getting that letter of intent in place is to say that, yes, we will sign an agreement in 7 days. If not, the letter of intent is void. And number two, I always like to get, it's called a non-disclosure, non-circumventing clause, and that's called an NDNC. So all that we're looking at being able to do with that is so that when I go approach my buyers on a good deal, and I'm saying, okay, I have 123 Main Street, I've locked it up. Mr. Buyer, are you interested in anything that is in this particular city? Yes, I am. I send them the non-disclosure agreement so that it covers me, that I can now discuss everything with that property and they can't go around me and go directly to that seller and make a deal. So I like to be able to secure it. I call it guarding my food dish. This is how we make money, and it's very important to guard that. I'm not saying all your buyers are like that. I'm just saying it's better to be safe than sorry. Make a goal to write up at least one letter of intent per week, at least 5 per week, 10 per week, as many as you can per week. Letters of intent are going to turn into offers to purchase. Offers to purchase are going to turn into deals. Deals turn into money for you. So it's about going out there. It's about, again, drumming up the business, putting them out there, whatever you can make happen. So the other thing is it's very important that you do a lot of listening. So when you're saying to a seller, why are you selling the property? What is going on? Does it need repairs? Do you have the money for the repairs? Have you thought about listing it with a real estate agent? And although these questions might be a little bit scary for us to ask, the other part is you want to get to know your seller. And by getting to know your seller and getting to know what we call a pain point, getting to know why they're selling will help you to be able to solve that problem and negotiate a better price so that you can give them the closing date that they want, maybe the amount of money that they want, maybe a little bit less than that, maybe a little bit more than that. It all depends on how the deal works out. And then to be able to pass that savings on to the buyer so that your seller can move on. It's all about them being able to move on. All we want to do is create these winning opportunities for them. Relate to them. That is so important. Is find something that you can relate to as quick as possible, whether it's you both have dogs, you both have cats, you both drive a car, you both like Ford Mustangs or Corvettes. Maybe you both like the same TV show. Maybe you hate that you hate that there's snow on the ground. Maybe that you love the hot days. Maybe it's vacationing, whatever it is. Maybe it's the same culture. Maybe that you both have long hair. Maybe both that neither one of you have any hair. Whatever it is that you can do to relate to that seller as quickly as possible, because the seller is already inundated with maybe other people that have asked, other people that they've talked to. So again, creating that relationship, because once you have that relationship, that's where the trust is built. Then you can move into, how much would you be looking at selling your house? If I could buy it right now for cash close when you want, what would be the lowest amount that you would take? And then you pause and you wait for an answer. And they say $500,000. And you say, okay, seriously, what's the lowest that you'll take? If I can get you to move on with your life, get you cash offer, close the date that you want, what's the lowest you'll take? And pause. And you'd be surprised how in most cases you get two different numbers. The second number is usually lower. So they might say 490. Okay, great. As you're going through the list and saying to them, okay, great. Are there any repairs or any maintenance? When was the last time you did your furnace? When was the last time you did the roof? You go after the higher ticket items. Is your basement dry? When did you last have it waterproof? Whatever notes that you can put on the property in regards to what it might need, again, it's a negotiating tool. It doesn't mean that because the roof is 5 years old that you have to go get a new roof. But again, it's getting that seller in a mentality that there's some maintenance that needs to be done on this property. When was the last time that you did the landscaping? When was the last time you updated your kitchen, your bathrooms? So the more information you can get. The other thing that I would suggest is if you're doing this business remotely, that's fantastic. Have them send the pictures to you. You can still do active deals. I've bought and sold many properties sight unseen. I still haven't seen them and I've already made money and they're long gone. So yes, is that possible? I would also suggest is that if these properties are within a driving distance for you, please go meet the sellers face to face. There's an experience there that is second to none when you can actually physically talk to that person face to face. There's a more trust is built that way. Again, please go down there, go to the resources. I've written some other stuff out, and we'll see you in Module 4.